Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds. It's like lightning every time.
It is like lightning.
Striking. Two bolts of lightning striking the same place.
Just the tips touching.
Just two tips clashing together. And an explosion of sparks and fury.
That's us.
Yeah. Just two tips slapping together in an explosion.
I'm leaving that in. Hi, everybody.
A shockwave that ripples through the countryside. Hello, everyone.
Hi, my name is David Bell.
I'm Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Bunraku.
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 We're here to challenge Nicola's reign in the name of the people.
Kill them all. Haven't I given you everything a woman could want?
Everything except my freedom.
The honorable men, they die hard, but they still die.
Bunraku.
So
Boonraker. Boonraker.
Oh, that's perfect. So this is a Patreon mandated episode. You guys, this is from a special tier on our Patreon. This is brought to you by Joshua Graves, who made us watch this movie. So
this is all accurate. This is all correct information.
Yeah, this is all correct information. Tom, what did you think of Bunraku?
It was okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. This movie fascinates me.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst.
No.
So for people who might not have heard of this movie,
man, I vaguely remember when this came out, but like, boy, does the marketing not match the film.
Yes. Well, I remember one thing about this movie is that it set up a world in which guns were outlawed, and so everybody just had sword fights.
Right.
I knew about that. This had a budget of $25 million. It was made in 2010. It currently has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. Guys, this movie stars Josh Hartnett, Woody Harrelson, a Japanese singer named, I'm going to fuck the name up, Gackt, Gackt, sure. Kevin McKidd, who is from Trainspotting, Dog Soldiers, Ron Perlman, and Demi Moore.
Yep.
It is, and I guess the narrator is the lead singer of Faith No More. I don't know his name.
Oof.
It is a crazy cast.
This movie is like, if you stuck a VHS copy of Dick Tracy into one mannequin, stuck a VH copy of Sin City into another mannequin,
right,
and then fired both of those mannequins at each other through two separate cannons.
Yes. But then I think they
crash into each other above a construction paper factory.
Yes, and I feel like then you would have to sift through the rubble and take out like plot, the element of plot. This movie, the thing it got panned the most for is it's all style and no substance, which I can't really deny that.
No, that's what's keeping me from saying this movie. Okay, what's making me say this movie was okay, and what's keeping me from saying I liked this movie is that several times during the film I had to just kind of stop and be like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I googled the plot of this movie as I was watching it.
Yeah,
because the answer is it's a very simple plot.
It really is. Yeah.
It's about. It's a combination of a lot of styles. Like the name is based off of a Japanese puppet technique thing.
Yeah.
And it looks like
the world looks it's a papercraft world.
Yeah, it's a minimalist, like it looks like a stage play almost.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a kung fu movie, although of all those people I named, not a single one of them is someone who knows how to fight. And that's one of the big problems, I think, with this movie, because it is a kung fu fighting movie starring a bunch of people who kind of have to fake it. It's done well.
Right, because they have people that come in to do this, like all the sword play and stuff.
Right, yeah.
And I do the final fight that Josh Hartnett has with his last killer, where they're just floating haymakers at each other, is one of my favorite fights in the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Just because all they're doing is swinging for the fences.
This director, Guy Moshe, Moshe, he had done one film before that was nothing like this, and I think it got a lot of people's attention. I think it was called Holly. He sold this script to a production company, and then when the company refused to make it, he bought it back and made it himself. Yikes. So that's how this movie got made.
He's like, give me that back.
Yeah, they were like, I don't
you cowards.
It got a lot of buzz at they played at cons. They played like the first something like the first 10 minutes of it or something, and they like doubled their budget that way. They got a bunch more producers.
I can see that.
Yeah, Hartnett was very excited about this movie. If you remember, he's kind of what got Sin City made. His scene in Sin City was the one used to get people to back that film. So you can see why people would see Josh Hartnett in a movie that looks like this, and people would be like, "Oh, I'm in." He compared it to Sin City, of course, and Michel Gondry films. And like they clearly knew they really thought they had the next Sin City on their hands.
Yeah, I mean, there is something here. There is something to this movie.
There's absolutely something here. Alex McDowell is the producer. He's what did he do? He was a production designer on Fight Club, on I think some Tim Burton films. Let me see.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like a very well-known production designer. Yeah, Fight Club. Let me look.
I mean, this movie looks
Corpse
incredible.
Bride, The Crow, The Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, this movie looks great.
The biggest issue is it doesn't. It just not. There's not much personality in it.
It wanders a lot.
Yes.
Like, I'm not sure why certain like Yoshi, the Japanese singer guy,
right? That's the character.
I wasn't really sure. Like, he just kind of wanders off to go looking for this medallion.
Yeah, the plot is okay.
It's like they're both trying to avenge their fathers.
Yeah, it starts with two guys showing up in the city on a train, and they both are going after Ron Perlman, who is like the crime boss of this city.
Right, but I think like Yoshi doesn't know that he is yet.
Yes. And
because
Yoshi,
he's looking for the medallion that Ron Perlman's wearing.
Ron Perlman stole the medallion from his father. I thought it was from like his town where he's from, his village.
Okay, you're right. That's right, because he moves with his uncle. That's right.
And then Josh Hartnett, you don't really know. He's just sort of seeking revenge.
You don't know who he is until the end.
Right. Wait.
Which
he's just... Who is he?
We don't know.
I know he's avenging his father.
Right, and we don't... I kind of dug that. Like,
yeah, me
he
too.
keeps saying, I have my own reasons, and we don't... And he has this whole scene with Ron Perlman where Ron Perlman's like, "You can tell me who you are?" And then he's not saying anything, and he's like, all right. I mean, like, either you tell me who you are, and... It's like he phrases it in a way that's like, well, that's kind of the point of revenge. If I don't know who you are and you die, then what was the point?
Yeah, exactly.
And if I don't know who you are and you live and you kill me, then what was the point? Like, I have no idea why you're killing me.
Right.
So, and then we learn that Josh Hartnett's father was the guy that Ron Perlman killed to seize power, and he keeps repeating this piece of wisdom he got from that guy through the movie.
Right, and which
was a nice touch.
That is a nice touch. And the premise, which I know like the director was into, of the guy kind of the stranger coming into town with no name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of from westerns and stuff like that, and samurai type films.
Yeah,
like it was a big inspiration here, and I like all of that. The broad strokes are great.
Yeah.
It's just they clearly are spinning their wheels a lot.
Yeah, it's a little too long because there's like, I'm not sure what the point of Demi Moore character is.
Yeah, I wonder if she just got attached, because I'm pretty sure almost everybody involved, because Woody Harrelson plays a big role in this. He's the bartender.
He's Obi-Wan.
He's Obi-Wan, yeah. I think they all were like, we're making Sin City. We're making something that I think when they were on set and they didn't quite understand maybe what was happening, and it didn't seem
I mean, like if I had read this script and saw the production design and saw like the video that they showed off, I would have done this movie.
Right, yeah. No, all the pieces are there.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, why did it fail? And I think it's just because there wasn't enough to do. There wasn't enough personality. Like, it was kind of like, I got kind of bored.
Yeah, in some parts. Like it's a little too long. I think if you shaved 20 minutes off this movie, it would help it a lot.
Yes. And I don't think they had quite the budget they needed, which was weird to say. Like, things like, I noticed the sets look great, but they also looked like they were made on a budget. Like, they looked like they were cheap at times.
In some scenes, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but there was some great production design where he goes into the Russian roulette bar, and the entrance, the entrance, you go into the chamber of a gun, and then it's like an elevator, and it moves you down into the room. That was great.
Yeah, it was a it's just he's standing in front of a green screen, but it was like, watching it, I was like, watching it, I was like, oh, this is really simple, but it's cool, and I like it.
Yeah, and the sound worked, but there was just moments where like the moment he is gonna fight a guy on a trapeze, I was like, okay, here we go, here we go, movie. You are initiating a fight on a trapeze, but then they just smack into each other and fall in the net and fight. And it was like, how did you fuck up this fight on the trapeze? Like, it's still not a bad fight, but it felt like...
Yeah, it would have been cooler if they stayed in the air, but it also would have been very, very difficult and expensive.
Exactly, and that's what I mean, is that I think this movie needed more money, because since the plot was pretty bare bones, it needed to really wow me on the action, I think.
Yeah, that's funny that it's... okay, I'm having like 5 different thoughts at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, I agree that the action really needed to wow. It did for the most part for me. Like, I really liked all the
good
fight
action,
scenes and action sequences. The plot is very bare bones, but like we both said, at different points in the movie, we're very confused.
Yes.
Which isn't a good sign, because the plot is very simple. It's just a bad guy in a fortress, 2 guys come to town for revenge, and they have to fight their way through the bad guys. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's moment by moment is confusing. And I don't know.
It's so meandering. Like, they kind of circle around for a while before they get down to business. And it's like, I never really clear why they're it's a cool scene when Josh Hartnett goes to the club and plays cards against Ron Perlman, but why does he do that?
Right. There's a lot of why where, I mean, did I dream that there's a scene where Woody Harrelson makes a pop-up book and invents Spider-Man?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. There's
even a little J. Jonah Jameson clutching a stone tablet Daily Bugle.
Why did that happen in
I don't know,
movie?
But I loved it.
Yeah, no, I was all for it. That was probably my favorite part of this whole movie.
It was amazing.
Guys, to put it... So Josh Hartnett goes in the bar, meets the bartender, who is Woody Harrelson. And he's making a little... Or is it Josh Hartnett?
No, it's Yoshi he's showing it to.
And he's painting a little person, and Yoshi's like, what is that? And he's like, I'm making a pop-up book. And it's his hobby. And he shows him this pop-up book of like Arachnid Man or something.
It's it's made to look like a Greek myth, like a Greek hero, and
Yes.
it's like Arachnidus or something.
Yes, that's it. And about how he got bit by a spider and gains powers. And like he's flipping through the book and you see like a 6-armed man who's clearly Doc Ock. Like but it's done as like like you said, like a Greek myth
Like a
version.
Greek myth. It took me a minute because I was
Yeah, me
like,
too.
when he started it, I was like, is this a real? Like, I was like, oh, I don't know this myth. That's interesting. I thought I knew all the myths, so I'm sitting there listening, and then I missed Doc Ock. It didn't hit me until I saw J. Jonah Jameson. I was like,
okay.
oh.
Yeah, I caught Doc Ock, and then when he's like, and it's a great responsibility, this power and
Yeah.
stuff like that, it was like, what the fuck is happening here?
So like, oh man, I do like when Woody Harrelson like shows him what he's doing. He's like, oh, every man needs a hobby, and he shows his pop-up book to Yoshi, and then Yoshi says, oh, for children.
Right, and he's like, no.
Woody Harrelson's like, no, it's for people with
Yep.
imagination.
Yep. Woody Harrelson is like the guy who made the Babadook book. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of weirdo who'd make it, apparently.
Yeah, just sitting there Baba duking it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, man,
I'm just imagining what if the Babadook showed up in this movie.
it could have. Like, this could have been where the Babadook comes from, the universe.
It could take place in the same universe.
Okay.
This is the Babadook shared universe.
I get visually why there's a pop-up book. Because this movie takes place in a pop-up book.
Right, it's all
essentially.
papercraft, and it's why it's called Bunraku and et cetera, et cetera.
But it's weird that Bunraku isn't in it. The beginning sequence is kind of like it's puppets, but it's all CG. A lot of this movie was CG. They filmed it in Romania, by the way,
Sure.
because it was nice and cheap. And they shot it, mostly on green screen and then on a bunch of sets. And you could tell.
I don't think there's a single exterior.
Yeah, one of the weird things, Josh Hartnett in an early interview compared it, said it was going to be like Rope, in that it's a single unedited take, or it's supposed to appear like one. That's what he said in 2008. That is not the case.
I think they may have abandoned that.
Yeah, because
they do. You see some of that in the movie.
Yes, you do. But then, when they're sitting and having conversations, it'll just be a shot, reverse shot.
Right. It'll standard, reverse coverage and shit. I think they just abandoned it.
Yeah, probably
Wisely.
I liked little things like the part where one of them calls another guy.
And they're just on the other side of the wall. That was cool.
Yeah, and it's like a scrim, like the wall just sort of, they relight it so you can see past the wall.
And then when Woody Harrelson's telling the story of how Ron Perlman lives in this mountain fortress, you just sort of see it in a rear projection behind them as he's talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of neat
cool.
ideas.
When Josh Hartnett busts Yoshi out of jail and it becomes a video game level / a shot from a Wes Anderson movie.
Oh yeah. See, there's a lot of ideas.
They play video game music while he's doing it too, so it looks like a side scroller.
Yeah, and the characters.
But you also see like 2 levels at once. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the assassins have little numbers that pop up behind them.
Yep.
That
Killers
also
2
look
through
good.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. But none of it. It's tough because it's a great look. It's a great look.
I wonder.
I don't know what it means.
Oh, I don't think it means anything. I think it's just supposed to be. It's a very basic story told in a
really cool way,
very stylish, cool way. I wonder if I'm going to like this movie more if I watch it a second time, because I won't be confused the second time.
That's true. I wondered the same thing, only if I would watch it high. Because I feel like this is a movie.
That'd probably be a blast.
Yeah, this reminds me of the type of movie where I watch it. Like, there are movies like this, like, who was that movie? Wanted? The one with the loom that tells people to kill other people.
The loom that tells Morgan Freeman who needs to die.
Right. That movie is worse than this one. But the first time...
yes.
Yes. The reason I brought it up, the first time I watched it, I was stoned. And I was like, this movie's amazing. And then I showed it to like friends while sober and was like, oh no. Oh, I am so sorry, everybody. So
had a few moments like that.
Yeah, this seems like the type of movie that if I had watched it first really high, I would be on here saying this is one of the best movies ever made. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I maybe just all it needs is a second viewing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to give it a second viewing.
Well, that's
at some
something.
point. Yeah. The parts that I liked enough to try to give it another shot and be like, well, maybe if now that I know what's going on.
Right. We haven't even talked about the fact that Demi Moore is in this, and well, we've mentioned her.
She's barely in it.
But
I don't understand why she's in it.
Is she Ron Perlman's girlfriend, wife?
Yeah, I think what happened.
Okay.
Is Woody Harrelson was the fabled hero. Ron Perlman beat the Christ out of him.
Okay.
And took his wife, girlfriend, Demi Moore.
They have matching tattoos. I know that.
Mm-hmm. And you see when they tell the story of her, I forget, I think it's Killer 2, the guy from Trainspotting, is telling the story of her to these two henchmen, or it happens somewhere around then, where you see Ron Perlman basically take her from another person, and then at the end of the movie, when they storm the base full of all of what they call them, the red suits.
Yes, because they have red suits.
Because they wear red suits, yeah. The building's burning down, and he sees Demi Moore and recognizes her and can't save her. The building collapses around her. So I think that's who she is.
Okay. Yeah, she totally dies. I remember that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Man, they needed to give her, I don't know, more. That's weird. This was when she was kind of like after G.I. Jane, she took a long break from acting. Yeah.
I mean, she popped up in one of them Charlie's Angels, but then other than that, she wasn't really in anything for a long time.
Was this going to be a comeback role? I hope not.
I think this was just like her kind of slowly wading back in. So it's like it's not a very big role,
right?
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. It is very strange.
No, I know what you mean.
Movie.
Where certain actors, like I think of Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, like this, which is that like they're actors that you. I mean, they show up they show up a good amount, but like you don't realize that they're like working every year, and you're just not watching their movies. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if Demi Moore's in that category, which
she definitely was not in movies, period, for a long time.
Right. She's doing a bunch of movies right now. I'm just looking her up. Yeah.
There was like a period in like the aughts.
Oh
where
yeah.
She just like fucked off for a few years.
Yeah, sort of. She's all right. Yeah. I'm looking it up. And like she did some voice acting, but she was going strong starting like Mr. Brooks 2007.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
She's
then
the detective in Mr. Brooks.
She sure is. And then she did Bunraku and I guess she's in Empire, whatever that is. I should probably watch Empire. And Animals, whatever that is. I guess I should watch that as well. It's a TV series. And she's going to be in Brave New World, a TV series. So she's working.
Sure.
I'm happy for her.
Is that the Aldous Huxley book?
I don't know. You want me to click on it? It's kind of, we're veering off subject.
We're veering way off subject here.
It is.
So, okay, cool. Demolition Man is loosely based on Brave New World.
It sure is. Isn't what's her name's character?
Yep, Lenina Huxley.
Yep. That's pretty funny.
And John, the main character is John Savage.
You know, if they knew what if they knew what was good for them, they would make a Demolition Man TV show. You heard it here first, you guys. Hot take.
Make that Demolition Man TV show. What a great idea that would be. I would watch the fucking hell out of that show.
Yeah, I would too.
Anyway, back to Bunraku.
Bunraku. You got Woody Harrelson in there, right? You got Demi Moore. You got Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to include Josh Hartnett's fine, but I'm not going to include them on this list for the point I'm about to make. Give them more of a personality.
I actually liked what they did with Ron Perlman. It was
okay.
It was basic, but I was like, oh, this is interesting for the villain.
Okay, well then let's say Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore, because Josh Hartnett, he's sort of just Josh Hartnett, but also he's supposed to be kind of a serious person.
Yeah,
in this.
he's kind of doing the man with no name.
I think the problem is you have two leads that are both very somber people who want revenge, and it's like only need one. And I get the idea that, like, okay, if you want to, the idea is they need to be butting heads then, and they sort of do that. They have a fight in the rain.
Right, that was pretty sweet.
But they don't have any personality issues. Like, there's
not really.
There needs to be, like, I hate to bring out the movie like Rush Hour, but there needs to be some sort of dynamic, like buddy dynamic, I think, in this. And you can still do that and not make it over the top funny, because this movie clearly wasn't going for that. But
no,
they needed something. Like, there was no chemistry. That's the word I'm looking for. Chemistry.
Not really. No, it was like, I liked some of the stuff they do. Like when Josh Hartnett shows up, he just kind of like, when he shows up at the base fight, he just kind of takes his hat off and like gives Yoshi like a friendly slap on the chest, and then he just kind of nods at them, and then they go right into the fight.
Right.
And I like that kind of stuff, but it is a very like player one, player two vibe.
Yes.
Like there's not there. They don't. They yeah, you're right. They don't have really any chemistry with each other.
Yeah. They don't have much personality. They just neither. They're both like
their personality is their goal, basically. Like that's Yoshi's entire personality is just his goal. And Josh Hartnett's entire personality is just he's the mystery man.
Right. And they gave him stuff like the cards. Like you said, you didn't know why he went to play poker. And he is sort of like he's like a magician. He does like card shit. They establish. So like make him more of a huckster or something. Make him a traveling man. Make him have more of a personality, a charmer, you know? Some reason for him to want to play cards, and you know, like it's little things like that where they like like as it is in the film, the only contrast really is how they fight, right?
Which again, it makes for one of my favorite parts of the movie, where it's just like they cut back. There's a few times in the movie where Josh Hartnett and Yoshi have to fight two of Ron Perlman's killers, and they just cut back and forth between the two of them fighting. And the second time when they're in the fortress is really fun, because Yoshi's having this really cool, elegant sword fight against this other swordsman, and then Josh Hartnett is just floating haymakers.
Yeah, which is great.
This other guy, it's just really fun.
There's been
punch
dynamics
each other in
like
the
that.
hand at one moment, like their fists collide. It's really great.
Doesn't he have brass knuckles?
He does. Yeah. Well, in the I don't remember if he has them in the fortress. He does in the base when they're fighting the red suits.
Okay. Yeah,
and he fucking demolishes that one Capoeiro guy.
The look of them, there was so many good ideas.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kevin McKidd, he's the one he's the henchman?
He's killer number 2.
Yeah.
He's the main henchman.
He talked about why he did this movie is that it's like nothing he's ever done before. And he specified the fact that he dances.
He does, yeah.
Like it's like a Fred Astaire type thing where he like beats people up, but also does it in like a cool dance style.
Right, he's doing cane work. Like his weapon's a cane, which there's an element of kung fu hustle in this movie.
Yeah, I got flashbacks to the '97 Avengers as well.
Oh yeah,
but good. Like,
I don't think that's possible.
Man, I mean, I don't
think you can have a good flashback to the 1997
No, I mean,
Avengers.
like, it was like Avengers, but good. Like, I think this director should just do a new 97 Avengers.
Oh, I don't know. Well.
I think this director should have done the 97. No, that would have made it worse, huh? Now that I think about it. I think this director probably should just be a. I don't want to say like they should stick to production design or cinematography because they had a great vision and they brought it all together in a beautiful way, but maybe not writing. He wrote this too.
Some editing, yeah. Some more editing, maybe a tighter draft with some more fleshed out characters.
Yeah, more personality. Because
give him something.
It's true that if this was like funny, or if it was weird in some way, then the minimal plot wouldn't have mattered. Because there would have been something to fill it. Where it's like I don't care that there isn't much plot. Like and I guess that's why I was talking about the martial arts, the fighting, because like Mad Max Fury Road is about a guy who doesn't talk, who's very serious, and a woman who's also very serious, and they're with a bunch of serious people,
yeah,
and. They just need to get in a truck and they go out into the desert, and then halfway through they're like, now we should probably go back, and they go back, and on paper that's a terrible plot, and those characters don't sound compelling, but it's because the action is so good and it's so weird, and the characters are, I mean, don't get me wrong, the characters are not good, but you know what I'm saying is that they're all very serious.
Yeah.
And so
they're also played by two pretty good actors.
Yeah, they're played by great actors.
A lot of performance.
Yeah,
coming
and
through
I shouldn't say Max isn't completely serious. He has these. I know this isn't a Mad Max podcast, but like some of the little expressions he has and stuff are amazing in that.
Well, he's wild. Like he's a feral man.
Yeah.
So
he can say a lot with
fun,
a couple looks.
Exactly. Yeah. You can do some fun stuff with that. That's just physical.
Yeah. But yeah, my point is that like this has two main characters who are very serious, and they're not bad actors, and the look isn't bad, but there was like something missing, either the craziness or the action. There just needed to be something to justify a plot being this simple.
Right, and instead I'm just sort of waiting for the next set piece.
Yes.
Although I liked all of Ron Perlman's speeches, so I was glad when we got to.
Yeah, his dialogue was good. The ending was good. I really liked the ending.
The ending is great. Yeah, it's a good final showdown.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's shaven with an axe, and he immediately throws the axe.
Just fucking beefs heart in it immediately with it.
Yeah, and boy, he does not take it like a champ. Well,
no, he doesn't.
he needs a moment. He needs a second. He like gets up and you think he's going to do something heroic, and then he falls back down.
No, he deals with it in about the way you'd expect a man to deal with getting a hatchet flung into their chest.
Yeah, that was good. I like they found a good middle point, because there are also movies where, you know, those movies where someone throws a hatchet and gets someone like in the back and they just drop dead. And that happens in way too many movies, like good movies. And it's like, I don't think that's what happens.
Yeah, I don't think that kills you instantly.
Yeah, I think the person falls on the ground and screams, "Oh my God, you dick. You hit me with an hatchet. How did you even do that?" That's incredible.
Yeah. I think it takes a while.
Yeah. But they do that in so many movies.
You got to deal with that now.
Yeah, so like my instinct, because of that trope, when he hit him with the axe, I was like, oh, he's dead. And then they show him on the ground like, and it's like, oh, right, no. That doesn't kill you.
He's just had most of the fight taken out of him.
He's just really, really hurt.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman looked like he was like in between takes, in between makeup chair on the set of Beauty and the Beast in this. Mm-hmm. Like he got that long mane. He had that long mane.
Yeah, he spends most of the movie shagged out. All shagged out, bro. Dressed like Lord Raiden.
Yeah. He's just like Raiden. Oh, this guy should do the Mortal Kombat movie.
I forget who is doing the Mortal Kombat. It's somebody.
It's probably somebody who has the right plan for it, but I could see this guy kicking ass at a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know where to put this person.
I don't know. This movie's not like it looks great. It's not badly directed or anything. It's just, man, it needed another draft and some editing.
Yes. I'm looking at.
That said, I mean, I think this movie is worth watching if you like action movies or you like weird movies that are just really visually interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I would recommend this movie to certain people because, the way that I'm a horror movie junkie, where I'll watch anything. Mm-hmm. I think there are certain action junkies who will watch any old crazy action if they can. Mm-hmm. And so I would definitely recommend it to certain people. If you're going to get high and watch something, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, fuck this right up.
Yeah.
If you're going to get high.
This director's first movie, and apparently both Ron Perlman and Demi Moore saw this movie and they got interested, or not I think Woody Harrelson, is about child prostitution in Cambodia, starring Ron Livingston. So
what
and
fucking
Udo Kier.
Movie was that?
It's called Holly.
Udo Kier, I guess.
Yeah. I can't imagine that it's a similar direction as this movie.
Why on earth wasn't Udo Kier in this movie?
Yeah. Udo Kier, what are you doing?
Udo Kier would have blown this movie away.
Yep.
He looks like a man who lives in like a papercraft universe.
He kind of, he does. Like, I would imagine his house being like beautiful paper universe.
Being a Dracula in a paper universe.
Little dolls. A lot of like weird, like dance music, like not dance music, ballerina. Like when you open the music box music. Mm-hmm. Like I imagine when you open the door to Udo Kier's house, like that music, haunting, like music box sounds.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything's puppets and paper mache. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
And he comes gliding out of a door that you didn't hear open or close. Mm-hmm.
And then he tells you how you're going to die. Mm-hmm. But it's beautiful.
And that's a trip to Udo Kier's house.
Yep. Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of what else to say about Bunraku.
I don't have much else. I think we hit it. It's very okay. It's got a lot of great ideas. It feels like a first draft. Mm-hmm. I understand why everybody was attached to it, but I also understand why it got a 17%.
I don't know about that. I feel like that's crazy low.
Really?
I don't feel like this is a 17%, do you?
Okay. I guess not, but I get it, is what I'm saying. I get why critics saw this film. By the way, box office...
Oof. It's probably brutal.
Well, I looked it up. I can only find the total for Spain, and only Spain.
And it probably didn't even open in theaters in America.
It was limited, and it went to VOD. In Spain, it made $130,000.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't think they got their money back.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it's
my
just
$3 YouTube rental helped them out.
Yeah, and maybe some people will watch this. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I got bored during some of it, and I got confused.
Yes.
But I understood what they were going for. It's a very big swing.
It is.
And it doesn't quite hit it.
Not 100%, although...
It's like first base.
Yeah, I am considering watching this movie again.
That's cool. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah, no, it is. Just I wonder if I will enjoy it more the second time.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay.
We will see.
Okay. All right, shit.
I don't have anything else to say about this movie. I don't know.
I think they know our thought. They know what's in our heart. Thanks for listening, everybody.
You guys know what the goddamn score is.
Guys, this was brought to you by a Patreon tier.
Oh, yeah, it sure was.
We have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We got exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac. You should Definitely check those out.
Sing me that song.
Yeah, we got Patreon Friday nights where we watch movies.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of stuff going on. You should check it out. Tom, you want to tell them about our store?
Oh, good God, do I? We have a store, you guys. tpublic.com/store/game for the unemployed. We got all kinds of sweet merch, bunch of t-shirts, a pretty awesome Mulder poster. We got all kinds of cool designs that you don't even, I think for some of them, you don't even necessarily have to be a fan of the show to enjoy the shirt.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But buy them and wear them out of context. Who gives a fuck?
Just who cares? Like, yeah, what are you going to do? Like, you don't need to know why Swolefield is there. Just wear Swolefield.
We should sell a pop-up book about Woody Harrelson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can't, I mean...
his dad was a contract killer.
Woody Harrelson. Oh, you're right. In real life.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Make a pop-up book about Woody Harrelson's dad.
We could do. Yeah, I was thinking like a Babadook type pop-up book about how Woody Harrelson will come and get the kids.
Mm-hmm, yeah, if you see Woody Harrelson in your bedroom at night, that means
that does mean a bad thing. Like,
it means you're dealing with grief.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't know anything about him. But if I woke up and I saw Woody Harrelson, I'd know something has gone wrong.
He's not there with good news.
No.